Alright, welcome to another Mr. Games official video. Today we have a Cooler Master CM Storm Scout build video. We're just putting in some components in that were actually built by a company. This computer was built by a company and they've just used a generic case. So we're going to put all the components in this other case into this CM Storm Scout. So I think we've got Core i5 and just some basic peripherals. But yeah, we're going to use a Storm Scout case because we want it to use for take it to some LAN parties and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get the side cases open and we're going to have a bit of an overview of the case and then I'm going to start on the build. Alright, so here we have the case. Basically on the front we've got 4 USB connections, which 2 more than many. Our audio and our eSATA, LED control. Basically we've got our top fan. Pretty sure it's a, what is it? It's a 140mm fan in there. Got a 120 at the back, got another 120 at the front. Now, just a few things that I want to point out quickly. My brother's got a Cooler Master HAF 922. This is actually thinner than the 922 and it's lighter. Actually no, I'm not sure if it's lighter, could be the same because of the handle and all that extra stuff, but it's thinner, so it would fit in the same kind of place as any other standard case would fit. Where a HAF 922, it's a lot wider than a standard case, due to the bulge that kind of comes out here when you've got the side panel on. Some features basically I want to point out. We've got a filter here at the bottom so you can have the power supply any way you want. We've got some nice cable management holes here. We've got one here. We've got ties along there for cable ties. You can run cables down here. You can kind of cable tie all your CD drive cables to that. Obviously here you've got our window on the back panel so you can get to your CPU cooler and all that kind of stuff. And we've basically got what we see on every Cooler Master case for the hard drives and for the CD drives. And on the back we've got this, which allows you to put in a USB cable through that, and it basically kind of locks your cable into your case. So if you're at a LAN or something like that, it's a lot harder to steal if someone wants to try and steal what you've got. And yeah, I'll just get this little box open, we'll see what we've got, and then I'll get the build started. Alright, so here we've got our hard drive slot rails, or whatever you want to call them. So you put them on each side of the hard drive and you slide them in here. Here we've got our floppy drive adapter for the front here. And here we've got our SSD adapter for in here, so it allows you to get an SSD in there mounted safely. And in here we've got our standoffs and screws and just all the little things that you need when you're building the case. Fan screws, your speaker for the motherboard, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, judging from the first impressions, as always, this Cooler Master case, it's built quite rigid. The handle's fantastic. So yeah, I'm going to get it finished and I'm going to try my best with cable management and see how we go. Alright, just for documentation purposes, we'll just go through what's going in the build. Here we've just got a Intel i5, I think it's a 430 maybe, I'm not sure, it's the base i5, could even be base i3, not sure. 4GB of Apacer RAM, GT 220 NVIDIA graphics card overclocked, 1GB of VRAM, and we've got just a basic ATX 550W power supply. Now, I will stress this right now. Never buy a Sunpro power supply. It is light. It is lighter than the hard drive. It is even lighter than the DVD drive. And what's even worse is the case that it came in is lighter than that power supply. So that just says it enough. Anyway, and here we've got I think a DVR118 IDE drive. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. And yeah, basically this video I'm just going to point out what I like and don't like about this case, ways I build in it and all that kind of stuff. It's done on one rerun. I don't do retakes, I just film it live pretty much. I just upload it raw, I don't really care. So yeah, this video is not going to be perfect, so I'm sorry if you expect a perfect video. But yeah, I'm under a little bit of time pressure right now, so yeah, I've got to go and get it done. But I'll try and do my best. So yeah, cool. Just another quick thing, this case already comes pre-cable tied with all these cables at the back, which I think is grouse. It kind of shows initiative that they want to keep it clean and That's what they're kind of aiming for and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, here's a quick look at the back of the case. There's actually not much room for cables to fit behind here. There's cases that can fit more, but it's about equivalent of what you can fit behind an Antec 902. So yeah, you can't really have cables pass over here at all. Only down here where there's this little lip here, the cables can pass around. So yeah, but no, it doesn't seem too bad. Now, I was going to point out something that I really like. All these cables here contain all the cables for all the fans, even for this back one here. So you can't actually see the cable that powers this fan. See, it goes up here. You can barely see it, and it goes down straight down there. And they've already done that for you. So yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. I think that's really cool. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So well done, Cool Master. Cool. Another cool feature is it actually tells you what holes they want the standoffs put in for, you know, whichever type of motherboard you're using, micro ADX or ATX. And when you're screwing down these standoffs, make sure you use a set of pliers and tighten them, or else if they're not done up full tight, if you do up a screw with the motherboard there as tight as it can go, next time you go to undo it, you're actually going to undo this from the bottom, and when you go to take the motherboard out, you're going to have the screw and that connected to the motherboard, and then you'll have to waste time finding pliers to undo it. So yeah, that's just a bit of a tip. Alright, these quick lock mechanisms work quite well. Basically, the hard drive is slidable, right? Move it in. Basically, once the hole lines up, can you see it? Down in there, lined up. Basically, slide it forward, like that. And you pull lock down, like this. Now, I can't move it at all. I wouldn't even put an extra screw in that. That doesn't even move. You won't get any vibration, nothing. That's fantastic. One other really cool thing is this front bezel basically comes off quite easily. You just got to pull it from the bottom, and there's no cables in the front bezel at all because they're all on top. So you can pull that front off, and you don't have to worry about hyperextending the cable that usually connects to the front of the motherboard, stuff like that. So yeah, just a little bit of a note on the Storm Scout. Alright, this is the back. So this is just basically the excess length of the USB and the front panel buttons and all that stuff. This is the audio. It doesn't reach all the way up to here, to the audio. I don't really worry about it either. I don't know many people who use it anyways with USB headphones these days. Unless they really want it, then I'll do it. And actually, I'm just going to plug this in here. That came undone. Whoop. Anyway, cool. So yeah, basically I've just used one of these. Oh, zoom that back out. Basically, I've just used one of these things here, like cable tie holder, and put all those in there. And this is really strange. It worked out perfect cable length for this. Basically, this is an Molex cable here that goes to this one, and then to the DVD drive on the other side, which I'll show you in a sec. It is literally the perfect length. I didn't need to use any extenders. The only thing I needed to do was use my last 1 Molex out to 2 for the extra fan that was in here, else we would have had one fan that wasn't going to run on this power supply. The only things that are left over is a floppy drive power and a SATA power. And that's all that's left over on the whole thing, so that's actually pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to turn around and I'll show you the other side. Alright, so basically we got no braided cables, so that's why it looks so crap. This literally just fit. If it went over the graphics card, I don't think it would have fit. So there's a little hole under there that you guys can actually use. It goes under in there for the 12 volt. And yeah, that comes from here. So if that was braided, that wouldn't look as bad. Sometimes you can actually go under the motherboard, but that's a little bit much. But in some other cases, you can't do it in this one, I don't think. No, there's no hole back there. You can actually go under and pop out in here and then around to there with that cable, but that wasn't long enough for it anyway. With the motherboard, 24 pin, once again it's not braided, it looks crap. The problem with this case here is there's no hole here. So this cable can't, it has to kind of go in there, the IDE cable, which is ridiculous. I don't know why it's an IDE drive anyway, but anyway, so if there was a hole there, this cable could go through there, under there, and pop out here and you wouldn't see it as much. With these cables, it would be nice if there was a little hole here for the micro ATX boards, but this case isn't really, it is designed for them, but it's not. So if it was a full size board, this board would be a bit lower down here and this wouldn't look as bad. But other than that, I did this in only, I don't know, 30 minutes or whatever, so I think it doesn't look too bad. But yeah, I'm going to get it all put back together and then I'll fire it up so we see what all the lights look like. And that's it. Alright, so I got this fired up. One thing that this case doesn't have is fan controllers for the fans. This case is probably competing with an Antec 902 in the price range market. So Antec 902 does have fan controllers, but in saying that, these fans are really quiet. The only fan you can hear right now is that stupid power supply. So if I put my hand here, you can't really hear it as much. And still, they're barely audible if you were to have the side panels on and a good power supply. So I would not worry too much about the loudness of these fans. I think they're pretty good. And yeah, we've got the light switch, turn them on and off. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. If you've got any more questions about the Cooler Master Storm Scout case, just put a comment below and we'll try and get back to you as quickly as possible. And yeah, this is just a raw video, not much editing, I just slapped it together and did it pretty quick, so yeah, any comments will be appreciated. So don't forget to, yeah, I guess comment, rate and subscribe. Thanks guys.